Hi, it's Caitlin from Really Big Plant. Thank you so much for joining me. For this video, we are sadly going to go return this plant that I bought in my last plant shopping video, and we are going to go check out the selection at that Home Depot. In my last video, I intended to do a plant shopping video there, but it was over 100 degrees and it was probably a lot hotter than that in the greenhouse where they keep the plants at that Home Depot, and I skipped over a bunch of stuff. I think I even skipped over some Thai constellations. There were some good plants in there, but I was just too hot to deal with it. So we're gonna head back, and unfortunately, this philodendron Kathleen that I bought last time is just having a really hard time. It is struggling, and I think there's all kinds of stuff wrong with it, so we're gonna just take it back and return it. I'm gonna send back this plant. So when you bring home a new plant, it's normal for the plant to drop some leaves and to go through a little bit of an acclimation period, especially if you're transitioning between a greenhouse to indoors. But the type of transition that this plant has been having is not one that seems normal to me, honestly. The leaves have just been dropping off like crazy. I think it must have lost like 10 plus leaves by now. What made me decide that I need to return it is the fact that the leaves are developing these spots on them, which are definitely some kind of disease. The spots are forming these perfect concentric circles all over the leaves. And especially when the leaves drop off of the plant, as they start to die, the way that this leaf spot is kind of taking over the decaying plant is very, very alarming. And I've just decided that I have way too many other plants in my collection. I don't really want this one around. Some damage on leaves is normal. Getting a couple of leaf spots here and there is not something to panic about, but sometimes the damage is too organized looking that you know it's got to be some kind of disease. So in nature, one of the most important defining features of life on Earth is the way that all living things resist entropy. Entropy is the natural tendency of everything to tend towards disorder rather than order. So for example, your house gets messier instead of cleaner if you don't constantly clean it. If you throw a bundle of sticks on the ground, they're gonna land in a chaotic pattern rather than spell out words. One of the things that living things all have in common is the fact that they actually fight this tendency towards chaos and self-organize. All living things exhibit this type of self-organization, and it's really one of the most remarkable things that there is about life. And when I see on a plant spots that look incredibly organized, that lets me know that there is some type of living pathogen responsible for creating that pattern, because typically physical damage doesn't occur in a way that looks perfectly organized. It just doesn't really happen. There has to be some type of guiding force that creates a pattern. And so when I see spots on leaves that start to look more and more organized, like it's some kind of actual pattern, that lets me know that there is something alive at work there. And a lot of times on plants, you don't really want that around. So this plant has all of these little spots on it, and it has got to go. And what's interesting is that I'm not really seeing it on the living healthy leaves, but what's happening is this plant is having leaf drop of like the healthy leaves. Like the leaves don't look like they're really browning too much, but then they're just falling off. And then within a day, because I sometimes just don't clean up after myself and my plants, I noticed, because I left some leaves on the ground after they started to drop off, that the way that the leaves started to decay looks very alarming to me. The way that the leaves are having this total takeover of something colonizing the dying leaf. And now that's not always something to be concerned about, because there are types of saprobic fungi, which are fungal bodies that colonize things that are dying specifically, and these are really important to our ecosystem. They help regenerate after leaves fall, and they eat the dying stuff. We always need the decomposers, but it doesn't always look like this. A lot of times they don't look so alarming. The fact that I'm seeing this type of damage within a day of the leaf dropping off lets me know that the population of whatever this pathogen is that's eating these leaves must be very high to begin with in the plant for it to colonize so quickly. So that worries me. I don't really want this around because I don't really know what it is. For a lot of plant diseases, it's impossible to tell based just on the symptoms alone, like the types of leaf spots, but oftentimes these things are contagious. So we are going to take this back to the store and return it, and we will tell them that I think that there's some kind of disease. I'm so sad because I was instantly in love with this plant. It was like love at first sight. I saw it from across the room and I just wanted it so badly, and I didn't even check on it. And what's interesting is I think if I had inspected it really thoroughly in the store, I still would not have noticed that there was something wrong with it, just because I was willing to accept some browning edges and stuff like that. But this plant has just revealed that it's got more going on that I don't really want to have around in my house. So we're gonna take it back. So let's head to Home Depot and return this plant, and also see what they've got in the plant section. Here, Lowe's and Home Depot, they take returns for up to like a year, or I think at least 6 months, as long as you have a receipt. So, and I think the plant has to be in its original pot, although I don't know about that. I've never tried to return something that I repotted already, so we're gonna go take this back. Hopefully the store will be a reasonable temperature for filming a plant shopping video, so let's go. Wiggle it a little once. Just wanna see if a leaf falls off. No? Okay. Oh wait, let me get the door. I just followed, wait, how? Oh wow, good job.
Wrist strength is how?
Wrist strength, he says. Okay, to the returns. I'm gonna kind of like keep my camera running, but not film the person, because I'm not trying to film people without their permission. Bye, plant. Sad to be sending that one back.
Really big flower.
I know, unfortunately it was just dropping a bunch of leaves as soon as we brought it home. It kind of looks like it has some disease.
Oh, yeah, keep it away from all the other ones.
That's right.
Exactly.
When you're gonna get 3660 back onto the master card, okay?
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back here.
See?
It is dropping.
Exactly.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, you too.
Look at these. These billetai. Bilietiae. 1688. In the basket? Wow, that's a great deal. Look at these. These are amazing. This is just at the returns.
It's like a $10 basket.
I know, that's amazing. Look at all these pineapples. Yay! Wow, this makes me happy to see these. Lots of pineapple plants at Home Depot for $16, $15.88. And I love that they're all individually wrapped and they left them in their wrappers. That keeps them all really nice. Hooray! These are so cute. You what? Yeah, it looks really nice in here. Okay, when I was reviewing my footage from my last video, I thought I saw some elbow leaves or some like Thai constellations, but I think it might have been these guys, these like white knights or white princess, or I don't even know. Let's see, philodendron, catkins gold, no. White princess, $30. Huh, that's more than I would think. Okay, we're just gonna do the pan. Wow, it's still looking good in here, and I see those red plants again, but I think I'm gonna avoid them. Okay. Oh, wow, this one is so pink. Look at this. Oh wait, that's not it. This one has pink too. $19.98. Wow. All right, and then we've got Calathea orbifolia. These are also $19.98, which I feel like is kind of a lot. I feel like $19.98 is kind of a lot for these, huh? And then the rattlesnake Calathea. Oh, there's a lot of Calatheas here today. I normally don't see so many of them. Calathea Maui Queen, $19.98. Philodendron Catkins Gold. These are all 20 bucks. Wow, look at the huge leaves on these. Are these PPPs that have kind of reverted? Yeah, I think so. They're big. What's he doing? He's looking at stuff over there. And these Philodendron Ring of Fire. I think the good ones were out over. Yeah, these ones are more expensive than the ones right by the entrance. And they're even smaller. Got Philodendron. Are these? I think these are Prince of Orange. Yeah, Prince of Orange. Usually this Philodendron, the new leaves come in really orange and then they turn a little bit greener as they mature. And wow! Wow, they've got these beautiful Philodendron mamei. How much are they? Beautiful. Can you turn that tag around for me? $19.98. Wow, beautiful. It's only $20. One time I almost paid like $200 for one of these. And crotons, some snake plants, the braided Sansevieria cylindrica. $19.98. Oh, some Hoya Crimson Queen on the trellis, which is a cute look for Hoyas. I feel like I don't normally see them like that, so that's cute. It's kind of unusual. And, oh, 6-inch Proven Winners Tropicals in basket. So that's like those guys. They're all $16.88. They're on sale. That is exciting. Philodendron Cardinal. Yeah, so I guess they're marked down by like half. They need to move this stock. Yeah, wow, this is so tall and big. Look at this Philodendron Shaveriana. I mean, not Philodendron, Ficus elastica Shaveriana. Wow, those are thick stems. I think these are also 20. This is $19.98. Oh, you need to move this one to the sale section. Look at this big Philodendron Narrow or Tiger Tooth. See, these plants have some stuff on them. I'm kind of gonna stay away from these plants for now because I'm a little worried that they all have some kind of weird disease. Oh wow, look at this guy. Wow, this is beautiful. This is some kind of Philodendron. I don't know which one actually. It's not the Philodendron Tiger Tooth, I don't think, because the lobes are so deep. Beautiful. There's more of them here. Oh wow, look at how huge this leaf is. Amazing. See if it has a label. It says Philodendron hederaceum, but that's definitely not a hederaceum. That one also says Philodendron hederaceum. They're confused.
No one's seen that plant before?
I'm also confused. I don't know what this is. Wow, this has got to be some type of like Thematophyllum. Or I guess they reclassified those to philodendrons, but it's got those interesting lobes. Okay, then you've got this Calathea medallion here at $30. These are nice and big. ZZ plants, 40. ZZ plants are usually kind of pricey because they're kind of hard to kill. I rarely water mine and they like never change. Oh, wow, these majesty palms. These majesty palms would be too tall to fit inside my house. There's some for 44 and then there's some for 25.88 and they honestly look identical. How tall do you think these palms are? These have got to be about 10 feet tall. Wow, they are gorgeous. Look at these giant majesty palms. If I had a bigger car, I would come home with one of these. Do we need to get one of these? No, he's shaking his head no. These are so big. Look at how huge they are. Wow, the majesty palms are truly majestic. All right, I'm gonna turn around here. We've got pothos, $30. It's a pretty big plant on the pole. And what are these? It says this is a philodendron white princess, but I don't see any variation. And then these again. Yeah, you know, they're all looking kind of sick. You see all these brown spots? Something is wrong with these. I was kind of hoping that maybe I could come get another one, but these just a little sickly, you know? And see, these ones are dropping leaves here too. All right, I feel less bad, I guess, because I think they're all kind of looking like this. Right. Ficus elastica ruby. Philodendron astatum silver sword, 1698. And Philodendron Carizo Verde, 1698, or no, sorry, 1998. Ooh, Calathea mosaica. These actually belong to the genus Joportia, but I think we all just still call them Calatheas. These leaves are so beautiful, the pattern on them, but I feel like they, on the whole, don't look super great. Might pass on that one for this shopping trip. Some more Calatheas. Ooh, some Aglianemas. These are like the Juliet or Maria or something like that. I think these are Aglianema Maria, 1698. I feel like that's a pretty good price. These are pretty big. There's a couple plants in the pot. They look very healthy. Ooh, look at these. Philodendron golden dragon. Philodendron melanonii. The austral gem fern. These are beautiful. It kind of looks like parsley. I love the way that the leaves have these little round lobes. They're so cute. Austral gem fern, Philodendron Brazil, some pothos. Let's see, 1698. Some Dracaenas, Dracaena fragrans, Dracaena marginata. All 1698 right here.
skate.
Okay, so it is narrow. All right, and so these, wow, look at these big philodendron leaves. These are just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. They do have some spots on them. I've noticed that this plant, the philodendron narrow, does tend to form these little spots. I think they are actually from extra floral nectaries that turn into little necrotic spots on the plant, because this has happened to every single one of my philodendron narrows I've ever had. I don't know if it's because they all have the same kind of disease, but I think it's more likely that this is actually just a feature of the plant as they get more mature, or as they undergo stress, it expresses it like these little dots. I know a lot of people have issues with these little dots on these plants, and I don't think that's actually contagious, at least in my experience. So, but it is kind of hard to look at a plant like this and decide you want to buy it, huh? Let me take a look at these. Wow, they're only $15.88. And they're in huge pots. Wow, do I need to get one of these and just put it outside? Monstera deliciosa, $30. Seems to be pretty standard for those plants. Wow, these are beautiful. They're so huge. It's kind of hard to commit to all the spots. Some fiddly figs for $30. These are kind of small for that price, I'd say. Aglianema for $40. The Silver Bay. Mom was so drawn to this plant. I really should just get one of these. Then more Dracaena plants. Wow, why is that so much? $90. Okay, so here's my advice. If you suspect that the plants in the store might have some kind of a problem, like I do because I just returned one of those philodendrons that seems to have a problem and the rest of them seem to have some issues too, my advice would be to avoid plants from the same genus. A lot of times plant diseases spread most easily between plants that are more similar, and then if you have a plant that's different enough, a lot of times the same disease is not susceptible. Kind of in the same way that like certain sicknesses in dogs are like not something that a human can get, and like when you have a cold, you're not worried about giving that cold to your pets just because whatever is infecting you is not the same type of thing that can infect a different type of animal. So same type of logic. If you're worried that you notice like the philodendrons look a little bit questionable, just stay away from the philodendrons. But other plants, even in the same vicinity, could probably be okay. Of course, it always depends on what the disease is, and there's no good way to know. But if you're trying to be extra cautious, I would probably avoid the philodendrons that are from that table, at least for now, until they have a little bit more turnover of their inventory. So that would be my advice if you're trying to play it extra safe. And I probably wouldn't pick out any plants that are like directly touching a plant that you think might have a disease, but sometimes you can just evaluate based on the individual plant. For example, I probably would stay away from these philodendron white knights or white princess and any other philodendrons that are in close contact or close vicinity to these red ones, just because they might have caught something. So, and you know, I don't know if the problematic pathogen on these plants is from these. It could have been from another plant in the vicinity and then it spread to these ones, you know. So and it also could have been not from that. It could have been just my individual plant having a problem. There's no way to know for sure, but out of an abundance of caution, I would probably avoid any philodendrons right in this area, at least for right now. Orchids are super on sale, $12.98, half off from what they used to be. I think that's a pretty good deal, and these are looking they're looking healthy. Oh, this leaf is so cute. Okay, let's look here. What have we got here? Oh, Hoyas again. Look at these little Hoya pots. You know, I don't know what these are. I don't know what kind of Hoyas these are, you guys. I think the little white spots are because Hoyas produce like a white type of sap. The fact that all the plants are covered in them, I don't think it's bugs or anything like that. I think it's probably from the Hoya itself. Because I noticed that sometimes if I like mess up my Hoyas a little bit, they get these little white spots on them, and I think that's just them leaking their own juice. Wow, these are only $5.98. That's a good deal for those. Vitonia. Vitonias. Pothos, $6. These little cordylines. I almost never see them this small. That's so cute. And, oh, Calathea rufibarba. It's been so long since I've seen one of these. Oh, they're in water. Oh, they're $20. Thirsty. You need to pour some water in these. Look at, oh, sad, they're dying. That's okay. This plant, if you're looking for the world's softest Calathea, this is the one. It is so soft, it feels like velvet. It doesn't look it because it still has that shiny look, but the leaves are so soft. One of my favorite Calatheas for sure. Little Peperomia tussifolia, variegated version. $5.98. More Dracaenas. I think these are these little water propagations, which, I don't know, it's a whole vibe. It's kind of cute. I think Dracaenas, yeah, Dracaenas don't really like to sit in water like this. $9.98. Dracaena fragrans. This is like a twisty kind. And some Dieffenbachia. Beautiful. $4.98 ivy. And the variegated variety. $4.98. Asparagus fern, $5.98. I love these. This type of asparagus fern, they are amazing. Some Hylia aluminum plant. Oh, some little peperomias. Crotons. Some snake plant rosettes. $5.98. I've seen happier looking snake plants here. Ooh, $5.98. This is the same price. There's some big ones actually back there. And little parlor palms. $5.98. I love parlor palms, you guys. They're just so cute. They're like such a classic looking plant, in my opinion. More little Dracaenas. Oh, these are cute. They're already branching a little bit. $5.98. I feel like that's a pretty good deal for that. All right. Then we've got my perpetual least favorite, the Anthurium Adrianum. And the Anthurium Andreanum. I don't know why I dislike these. I'm waiting for one day to be just struck with the beauty of one of these plants and to decide that I actually love these. But for now, I don't know why, they're just not my favorite. It's a good thing there's so many different kinds of plants to choose from. You know, I kind of like it small like this. These are $10.98. These ones are $19.98. Peace lilies, $16.98. I feel like that's a pretty good price for that. This is pretty big. That's like the smallest one too. These are $16.98. This one's even bigger. Wow, there's a lot of plants in this pot. I bet this plant gets thirsty all the time. And some bromeliads. These look like they kind of finished their bloom cycle. $16.98. And what are these? These are like not really house plants. Oh wait, these is a begonia? Wait a second, I thought these were little roses. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I thought these were roses. These are begonias. Beautiful. The little kalanchoes. Oh, the cute, tiny little phalaenopsis orchids. How much are these? Excuse me. $12.98. These flowers are so cute. Yeah, I was here last time. This Schefflera, my husband wanted me to show this one. It's only $30. Someone come buy this. That's actually a steal. Do we need to get that?
No, but like someone could.
He said no. It looks a little thirsty. It looks like the soil's kind of dry, so I bet with a good watering, this would perk back up.
I feel like even one of those in there looks like a $30.
Yeah, you know what? This is a really good deal. This is a really good deal. This and the giant 10 feet tall Majesty palms for $25, $26. That is amazing. Look at those. I already know I'm gonna regret leaving here not getting one, but I don't know where I would put that. We don't even have room in the car for something that big. Okay, and then let's see what they've got up top. Got some syngoniums up there. Hanging Murrietas. Got this star fern. Pothos, $19.98. Philodendron Brazil, $19.98. Those are pretty big for that price. They're hanging down. They've got a lot of plants vining out of the pot. Philodendron Micans, also $19.98. Oh, and then the Nepenthes, $36.98. It's pretty big. Those are pretty big. Let's go around and see them. $36.98 for these. Ooh, that one's got a big picture. Cool. There's a bunch of plants in that pot. Ooh, a big Adansonii. How much is that? $21.98. Oh, right. We got more philodendrons up there. Looks like that's a Micans. These are $16.98. I'd probably go with the $19.98 ones in a bigger pot, just on the other side of the store. Some philodendron Brazils. Big pothos. Oh, these are $12.98. I'd probably get one of these pothos, but then one of the other philodendrons, just because these look really full for $12.98. Hello. Some spider plants. Murrietas. Oh, this is that velvet plant. I feel like you can see how fuzzy it is. These look kind of thirsty, but these are really fun. They've got that like purple sheen to it because the hairs are purple. The leaves are green, but they have these little purple fuzzes on them, so it creates this little purple halo around the leaves, which is so cute in my opinion. These are $12.98, I believe. See how they're green and then you kind of change the angle and then they look pinkish purple. That's a really fun plant. Can you hang this back up for me?
Is that a type of begonia or like what is it?
No, it's called like a guarana or something.
Oh.
It's a velvet plant. We've got some staghorn ferns, some begonias, $12.98. Wow, so I feel like the individual plants in here are just like huge. They're looking big right now. Looking pretty good. Oh my gosh, this has so many plants in the pot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at this. $89.98, $90. Well, there are a lot of plants in that pot, so maybe not too bad. All right, and this little section here. Oh, these Billietiers are still here. This is like the only plant I showed in my last shopping video, and then I left because it was so hot. These are 12 something, I believe. $12.98 in the hanging basket with the ceramic pot. I feel like that's a really good deal. Although no, they have even bigger ones for $16.98. I forgot at the entrance. Calathea orbifolias. Philodendron Cebu blue. What else? Tradescantias. Begonia. Oh, look at the pumpkin pot. $12.98. This is like variegated neon. Look at how light these leaves are. I don't know if it's because... Wow, look at this. These are variegated neon pothos, and these are normal pothos. These are beautiful. Do I need one of these? right, crotons, snake plant, $16.98. It's hanging baskets. I don't know how much these are. $16.98. Enjoy pothos, philodendron Brazil, lichens. The little fuddy plant display section. Some air plants in a holder. $6. Oh, and the tags feel wet, like someone must have just watered them. That's reassuring. Some tiny little guys. Oh, look, a little tiny little variegated jade. These plants, the snake plants, I feel like are always over here, and they're always like $30. Ooh, I see a Metallica back there. Got our little hanging plant section over here. Sorry, it's really loud next to this fan. I'm shouting. Oh, these are $12.98. This one's $19.98. These are very full. Oh, begonias, staghorn ferns. All right, we're walking out of Home Depot empty-handed. One less plant than we had when we arrived. Not gonna lie, it makes me feel kind of sad, but anyway, we're gonna look at these citrus that they have outdoors. Ooh, blood oranges. Look at this big lemon tree. There's so many lemons on it. $3.49, but it's so big. Wow. Look at how big that is. Oh my gosh. Wow, she's a beauty. $3.49. Well, we're leaving Home Depot without any plants, but we're like $36 richer than when we got here, so guess I can't complain. Feel weirdly empty that I didn't just buy some plants. Feel like, what am I doing? What am I even doing if I'm not buying plants? No, you guys, I'll tell you the secret. I actually feel like my desire to buy things is a little bit dampered by the fact that I'm going on a vacation in like a week. So by the time you see this, I'm gonna be out of the country. I'm leaving for like over 2 weeks, and I currently don't have any intention of like having anyone come water my plants while I'm gone. So they're just gonna suffer for like 2 weeks. Hopefully they won't suffer too much. You know, sometimes I don't water my plants for 2 weeks, and that's how they get as thirsty looking as they look sometimes, as I'm sure you've seen on my channel. So I think they, for the most part, should be okay, but I really am feeling like it would be kind of irresponsible for me to buy a bunch of plants right now just as I'm about to leave. So I was in there eyeing plants with a sense of like, if I brought this home and couldn't keep an eye on it, would it be a good idea? And for most of them, the answer was no. So we didn't get any plants, but I'm really glad that we returned that one. I feel very relieved, like a weight off of my chest, that I don't have to worry about that red leaf philodendron anymore. And I'm hoping that soon I'll be able to find another one, possibly from a different store, because I was really in love with it. It had really beautiful leaves. The like red midrib and the green leaves on the older foliage was just so beautiful to me. But unfortunately, if a plant is going to be sick and you're able to return it, I would always recommend going for the return. We returned it. It was super easy. There was like, you know, sometimes it just depends on the employee. Sometimes they like kind of ask you more questions about what was wrong with it, but they have to accept your return. Even just deciding that you didn't want it anymore is a legitimate reason to return a plant to a big box store like Home Depot. So just save your receipts. And thank you guys for telling me about this, because I actually had no idea until like, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago when you guys told me. Multiple people commented like, you need to keep your receipts so that you can return plants to big box stores. So I have always kept them now, and whenever I have a problem, I return them, which doesn't happen that often. But yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It worked out. Yeah, thank you so much for the good advice. I hope this was a fun video. I think the plants were really big in there. The plants in there were looking quite sizable, and many of them were discounted, I think just because the growers are trying to get rid of their inventory. So that's always fun to see. The plants are really big these days. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for coming plant shopping with me. It was really fun for me to check out what was in stock. I feel happy to have gone back there now in more reasonable weather and to have gotten to show you what was in that Home Depot, because I think a lot of the stuff was actually pretty much the same from when I was there about 2 weeks ago. Wait, was it 2 weeks ago that I was there last? Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having a fantastic planty week and that you're finding cool stuff in your local plant shops. And I hope that your plants are bringing you joy. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.